bombing everywhere.
The Russians are now conducting a full-scale invasion.
This is a city that is completely and totally terrified.
The United States will join them in sanctioning President Putin.
Russian forces have been trying to push into the capital, but they're being met with resistance.
I believe in my army. I believe in my people.
We'll fight, even if Europe doesn't help us.
Good evening. The tip of Vladimir Putin's spear is about to pierce the heart of Ukraine. In a midnight address, their president, Zelenskyy, told his nation that Russian troops will likely storm Kyiv tonight. President Zelenskyy said the fate of Ukraine is being decided now and called on his citizens to defend the capital with their very lives. The Russians are bearing down on that capital with explosions and gunfire. And if they take that capital, the question is, what happens to Vladimir Zelenskyy, his family, and his cabinet? This is a look at Kyiv right now. 2 a.m. there. Explosions and air sirens reported in the distance. Up until now, Russian troops have faced much stiffer resistance than the Pentagon says they expected during this full-scale invasion. The day ahead could be a pivotal one, with the future of Ukraine and its people at stake. These are Ukrainian National Guardsmen taking up position on a bridge in central Kyiv. They're lying down in the prone position. Look at this. Their rifles aimed and pointed in the direction from which Russian troops would likely come. Ukrainian forces have blown up bridges near Kyiv to try to make it harder for the Russian military vehicles to advance on the capital. This video shows Ukrainian men grabbing guns out of crates in the city. Ukraine's defense ministry has called on civilians far and wide to prepare Molotov cocktails to fight back. On Ukrainian TV, they broadcast instructions on how to make them. A massive explosion and fireball lit up the night sky before dawn in Kyiv. The Ukrainian military reports it shot down a Russian aircraft and 2 incoming cruise missiles. We cannot confirm that report. Russia denies losing any aircraft. But you could see the fireball there as it erupted and slowly descended. The scene captured on both surveillance and eyewitness cell phone videos. Russian propaganda claims that Russian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy had fled the city. He had not. Zelenskyy posted this video of himself and his cabinet on the streets of Kyiv. He delivered a clear message. We are here. We are in Kyiv. We are defending Ukraine. President Zelenskyy says he's target number 1 on Russia's hit list and that Russian saboteurs are already in the city. Just 3 years ago, Zelenskyy was a comedian and actor who played a president on television. The Pentagon has warned Putin wants to decapitate Ukraine's government and install its own puppet regime. In a chilling address today, Putin urged Ukrainian troops to turn against their own country and stage a military coup to seize power and negotiate a surrender.
Don't let neo-Nazis and Banderites use your children, your wives, and old people as human shields. Take power into your own hands. It seems that it will be easier for us to come to terms with you than with this gang of drug addicts and neo-Nazis who settled in Kyiv and took all Ukrainian people hostage.
Words that mean nothing and full of lies. Some of the fiercest fighting has been in and around the city of Kyiv in the east, not far from the Russian border in the northeastern Ukraine. The wreckage of destroyed Russian military vehicles left smoldering. Ukraine's military claims it's inflicted heavy losses and killed nearly 3,000 Russian troops. Here again, we have no way to verify that report. This is surveillance video showing a column of Russian military vehicles pushing up from southern Ukraine. And look at these Russian soldiers trying to break and disable the cameras in an attempt to hide their movements. We're seeing some harrowing scenes in Kyiv, gunshots fired into the air by security at a train station, crowds of desperate Ukrainians, some with toddlers in arms, trying to pack onto trains to escape this nightmare. Dramatic video from a suburb of Kyiv shows an armored military vehicle swerving and crashing on a coming car on a public street. Bystanders able to pull the driver out of the wreckage. He reportedly survived. Full coverage ahead. We begin tonight with Matt Bradley, live in Dnipro in eastern Ukraine. Matt.
Yeah, we just heard from President Vladimir Zelenskyy. He has made a series of increasingly dire speeches over the last several days, including ones in Russian, appealing directly to the Russian people to appeal to their president, Vladimir Putin, to stop fighting. But tonight was the decisive night. He told his people that they had to defend their whole country, but particularly their capital, Kyiv, which is under an increased threat tonight as Russian forces surround the capital and move in from several different sides. He said it's been a long day, but it's going to be an even more complicated night. He called on all of his citizens to rise up to defend their country, to defend their elderly, their children, their women. And he said that this was a decisive night. This is the night that it's going to happen. Shep?